But no.
Now from this point forward... Oh. I never expected to meet a Knight of Lodis. I will never forgive you for all that I lost 15 years ago. You burned down my town and killed my parents. Thankfully, I've acquired the skills of a soldier. I understand that it's hard for you, but that was a long time ago. It's long forgotten for the victor, but we still endure the painful memories. Words cannot describe it. Does everyone in Lodis think as you do? Knowing your ancestors' merciless deeds, don't you feel any remorse? And to repeat the same mistakes again? The teachings of Lodis are said to be sacred, but in the end they are simply the rationalizations of the subjugator. Now from this point forward, I will not have... I will not show the full enemy turns. I will instead skip to the next player phase, unless the enemy has something to say. I will also try to show and potentially collect all the treasure on the map, especially if there's something that's important, would be a nice thing to collect. Now, one thing that I will say about the Knight class is that they are a secondary healer, so it may be a good idea to go to Lutra to earn some more Goth. Mother, Father, give me strength. I will avenge you. Now, as you can see on this map, there are 4 enemy soldiers, 2 enemy bandits. Oh, Ivana's gonna... Yeah, Ivana moves first. Now, as you can see, the ninja can move like crazy. First, I am going to move here to get the treasure that is located here. Which is a glass pumpkin. Very, like I said, very important to collect those. Interestingly enough, this soldier is actually standing on a hidden treasure. There's a hidden treasure here, and the last hidden treasure is right here. Now, all of them except for the glass pumpkin are random, so it doesn't really matter too much if you get them now or later, but I try to collect them. I'm going to try to collect them on screen, if at all possible. Actually, no, I don't want to send Kamui that far ahead. Alos. I like to send people over various areas as teams. It keeps the enemies spread out a little bit, so might be a good idea to do that. Also try to have the lowest movement range characters set your pace when possible. It just keeps everything smoothly flowing. Now, fortunately, clerics have a wide range, so you actually want to keep them back a little bit. Okay, come on, face the way I want you. Thank you. The problems that you're going to actually run across mainly are going to be with the early spellcasters, because of the nature of their early spells. Alphonse, fighting is not the only way. One strategy is to persuade enemies to join your troops, but don't assume everyone will be persuaded. Foes with high HP usually won't listen. Furthermore, some of your characters may be more persuasive than others. Okay, as I was saying with the spellcasters, is that their early abilities are considered throwing abilities. Now, what this means is that they have a number one, they have a chance to miss, same as any other physical weapon. Number two, they will hit anything that is between the caster and the target. So you have to be very careful to position your characters so that the spellcasters still have a chance to hit something. And I'm going to be seeing a lot of that right there, unfortunately. Because these early spells are not very good. Okay, let's see if this will... Come on, Deneb, hit him. And you'll notice with the fire spell right there, and that's actually quite important, is it burned that patch of grass under him. Keep that in mind for later in the game. Let's see, who do I want to move next? Actually, any of the characters with bows and arrows, like this character, are a bit of a hassle. And oh, that's actually a very, very good thing to do with that character right there. That's nice to see, actually. Yeah, that's going to be best to do it that way. Now, you effectively have two healers in this match, and they are, well, as long as you're like me, your own personal cleric and Ivana. Ivana, being a knight, has access to the healing spell. Now, you notice that I equipped him with the Francesca, and that's just because I felt like it, because technically I don't have the Beastmaster's favored weapon. So, I just went with that for the time being. Who do I want to... Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Try to prevent enemies from going after my weaker spellcasters. Now, fortunately, with the sniper emblem on all of my characters, they are less likely to be totally wiped out by a bum rush of enemies. Let's see. And you're about to see right here why I love having clerics. This range right here. Cleric doesn't even have to keep up with your army. Just as long as he's within range of healing them, he is very, very worthwhile. I think it would actually be best to send Alphonse up that way. And yeah, I'm a little overpowered. Ivana, that is foolish. Now, one thing that I do want to say about the AI's attack priority, as you notice, Alphonse here is surrounded. They will prioritize the leader above all else, even if that leader has excellent agility and is unlikely to be hit. Actually, I probably should have healed Flores instead. Oh well. Now, I could easily just go after the leader and end this here, but I don't want to, because you get much better rewards by going after as many war trophies as possible. Basically, kill as many of the enemies as possible. Now, you could recruit somebody, but I'm not going to. Mainly because I have no need to. Now, Thunder Flare is what is called an area of effect spell. However, you notice that it's only highlighting one character, and it also has a 100% chance to hit. The number of squares that an area of effect spell can hit is based on the intellect of the caster. So, since intellect is at the most basic level right now, which is very low, even for Yuki, it would be very low for an area of effect spell. it will only affect one square. You'll see as my characters get stronger that they can attack more squares. And good. Yeah, I was worried that that might not hit. Rampart has 79. I think with a good balance of characters here, I can take him out. Oh, rats. Kamui. Oh, well. Now, bandits, I've noticed, have very low counterattack and defensive capabilities, so you don't have to worry about them too much as far as counterattacks go. But they are very, very powerful opponents. Ivana, are you going to heal, or yeah, you're going after somebody? Oh well. One thing, I actually haven't highlighted Ivana yet. She is actually going to be level 4 for this mission. She's going to have a very nice long sword and a transferring stone, and she's not really going to have any emblems. So, there's that. Now, Alphonse does not need any more experience points at this point. He's level 7. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get the item that's hidden here. Or went to the wrong square? Yes, I did. It's here. Oh well. I'll get that later. How do I want to go about this? Because she can cast Thunder Flare one more time. Take you out, actually. Kamui should have the movement range to get that one treasure that I foolishly did not go after. Come on. Now, I will say that I'm actually playing this on the Retron 5, and I'm using the Retron 5 controller, so sometimes I'm going to mess up where I'm directing my characters. Wait, what? That should be... Okay. I have no idea why there's not a treasure there. Because it's in my notes that it's supposed to be there. I don't think I'm supposed to burn that patch of grass. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and heal Floris. That's kind of embarrassing, saying that something's there and it doesn't pop up. Double check my notes, and yeah, that's where Kamui is where that treasure's supposed to be. Oh well. Let's test where the other... No, he can't reach it. But I'm going to go ahead and have him... Let's go ahead and attack the boss, even if we're not going to take her out, just to see if we can get her to retreat a little bit. So I can have time to go after the other two characters. Oh. Well, aren't you special? And... Yuki... can go ahead and attack... you? Yeah. Probably going to miss. And that is the part about the throwing spells that I don't particularly care for, is their accuracy is horrible. Oh, but Yuki managed to get a hit out of that. And it started to rain on my turn. Go figure, right? Now, rain actually has some interesting effects on some maps, and I'll get into that if it ever becomes an issue. Let's see, how many hit points do you have left? 179. You're not in danger of dying. So let's go ahead and not do that. But get this ball rolling. And 45 damage, that's decent. Now, Kamui has the better movement range, so let's get my Hawkman to go first. I have a reason for that. And it's because Kamui can more easily get from the side of this poor boxed-in carry to the boss. Now, for the most part, the war trophies will always be the same, but there is some randomness to it. For example, the boss will always drop the Great Bow weapon. Right here should be a good spot for Albrecht. Yep. Because I wanted to heal Kamui, not hear him. Yes, and one thing that I was going to get into is how this is an era of peace in comparison to others. Well, this is actually a bit of a prequel game, and this fireball's probably going to miss because it has to go uphill. It is a prequel game, and, well, as the Ogre series progresses, things get more and more desperate, more and more violent, and the reason behind the Ogre name is actually a special class of demons, effectively, known as Ogres, who are born of the chaos in men's hearts. Now, fortunately, Ogres don't actually show up in this game, so I'm not spoiling anything for this game, just the franchise in general. In fact, my favorite game of the franchise is Ogre Battle 64, Person of Lordly Caliber, and if that name is not a mouthful enough, then I don't know what's wrong, because it's a long title. Now let's see if the treasure's actually here. No, it's not. Okay, so I am going to have to review my notes, because I have not gotten a treasure in 2 of the spots. And I have not tested the other one. That's not going to knock her out. Okay. But she's critically low HP. Actually, out of curiosity and some frustration, I am going to try something that I really don't think is the case. So I'm going to select Deneb here. And yes, there's a reason. Not what I want. Come on, yeah. And burn the tile. And who do I want to take out carry here? 49 HP, not enough for one round, so... yeah. He's only going to do 13 damage. Let's see if Ramus can do any better here. 18. Actually, I'm curious. I don't think the Dragon Shield is going to do... yeah, 1 point. Like I said in an earlier episode, the shields do pitiful damage. Their main purpose is to guarantee a knockback. I don't think you can move to that square, so I'm going to have you heal, I think, Floris. If I could aim at her. No. Maybe Alphonse? No. I'm just going to heal Floris. Because she seems to be targeted quite often because of her ability to heal. Like I said, the AI will target potential healers before they target anyone else besides Alphonse, the leader. Good, 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 good. Leveling up. The healer will make him a better healer in time. That's not what I meant to do. Oh, well, that was quick and easy. Or not. Good agility on that. Miracle Emblem. Oh, that's actually not good. Because that will improve her ability to dodge and counter. Yep, 50, yeah. Well, doesn't matter if you die. Now you've noticed that I haven't picked up any of the war trophies, and that's because none of the enemy forces will have the chance to. You only have 17 hit points left. I'd rather have somebody else get the kill. Let's see if I can get her in range. I don't think I can, though. Nope, not in range. Oh well, hit Cressida. Try to hit Cressida. I don't think I'm going to. Oh, good. Got some damage there. And I think only Alphonse is left to go. Now I'm going to quickly show this. Not actually going to use it, but in the items you have Stones of Swiftness and Sword Emblems, Crowns of Intellect. Those three items increase stats permanently. Stone of Swiftness adds 1 agility, Sword Emblem adds 2 strength, and Crown of Intellect adds 2 intelligence. Right now, I think Alphonse is not what I wanted to do. I think Alphonse is powerful enough that he doesn't need to increase his stats with those right now. And as we can tell, I'm kind of slowly cornering Cressida. And let's see if this item is, in fact... oh well, I wanted the Hawkman to... yes, it... okay. I simply forgot about that, apparently. And there's the advantage of the Hawkmen, is that the fact that they can fly, so they can get over tall walls very quickly. And just enough damage. So... oh, good, he leveled up too. So, we know that we need to burn some tall grass, and if my controller would cooperate... I believe Albrecht is actually close enough to get that one as well. So... let's have Deneb torch the ground, and Albrecht go collect it. And this is what I'm going to try to do, is actually show the treasures. Do I want to heal anybody? Nobody's close enough. And he doesn't need the levels right now. Experience. I think that was heal self. Okay. Florist doesn't need any experience points, so I'm just going to see about collecting war trophies. Stone of Swiftness. Nice. I do really like those items, because a permanent increase to your stats is always welcome. Okay, who's next? If Yuki gets another level up, I'm going to have her back off. I believe Cressida is the last one. Yep, there we go. I believe she's the last one, 70 HP. Just gonna go ahead and end the turn. And Ivana gets to move, and she's gonna go after Cressida. Fortunately, we have her kind of boxed in, so she's not gonna be able to do anything. And Deneb, wasting another turn doing Fireball right there. Now, one kind of interesting thing is early, when people were writing game facts for this game, there were actually some people who thought that whatever item they got when they landed on a tile like this, that was the item that they would always get. But in fact, these tiles are all random, except for a few selected tiles, like the one here that will always give you the glass pumpkin. One thing that I really like about the ninja I'm going to actually show off here is, oh, I can't reach this opponent in time. Well, guess what? You probably can actually still do damage. Now, I believe there's a special dialogue box that pops up if Alphonse is the one to take out the boss. So I'm going to actually try to get that right quick. I could be wrong, because it's, I don't have anything written in my notes about it, so... we'll find out. That'll take her out, and I don't have anybody else that I need to worry about, so let's see what we get here. Never forget. You can fool yourselves with your rationalizations, but eventually you'll suffer the consequences. Oh, mother, father. Nope, nothing special. And Healing Leaf. Now, these war trophies, I believe, are always going to be the same. Cup of Life. Yeah, these are always going to be the same, because these are what I have in my notes as what I've collected before. Now, I'm actually going to be saving up all my Crowns of Intellect that I find, and you'll see why when we get to a particular point in the game. Alphonse, I have something to tell you. I told you that I used to be in the White Fang troops. Their size doesn't compare to the troops of Lodis, but they were the personal troops of the Lord of Vernaculus. I heard that the Batral family gained their power during the early settlement of Ovis. Now they rule the northern region. They are descendants of the colonists who left Galicia 400 years ago and settled in Vernaculus with other foreigners. The troops were formed to defend against the wild beasts and demi-humans of the frontier and to cultivate the land. Why did you leave? Do you know anything about the current conflict? I left to uncover the truth about my father's death, and to avenge him. I am Ivana Batral, daughter of the former Lord of Renaculus. Batral? My uncle, Neris, became lord after my father died of illness 15 years ago. 15 years ago? The year of the Reformation? The island became the territory of the Holy Lodis Empire and was placed under the rule of Felis. That's correct. The Order of the Sacred Flame was sent to represent Felis. Southern Ovis refused to accept Lodisism, so the military forced them to convert. But in Renaculus, my father signed a peace treaty with their leader, and we were able to avoid a conflict. My father died late that year. I am creating timeline shifts. My mother told me it was a heart attack, and I believed her at first. However, a few years later, I heard a rumor that he was killed by my uncle. Wait, wasn't the leader of those troops at the time Bernard Lasanti, current Duke of Felis? Does your uncle still have contact with Felis? I don't know, but my uncle was strongly against the treaty. He excelled in the use of both the pen and the sword. My father, however, was quiet and always ill. But my father was lord and heir. My uncle may have been jealous of my father, who stood to inherit everything. Alphonse, I want to know the truth of my father's death, and to confront my uncle. Please, may I accompany you? My uncle must be behind all this, pursuing some ulterior motive. Now here's a choice. Ivana Batral is a special character that you can only get at this point. B, she is gone forever. A, which is what I'm choosing, and she joins your cause. Yes, let's go together. It's encouraging to have you fight alongside us. I know little of this island. Your help would be greatly appreciated. If my uncle has found out that I suspected him, the lives of my mother and sister would have been in danger. So with the help of my sword instructor, who had taken care of me since I was small, I left the troops and hid here. And with that, Vespa Hills is conquered, and we have quite a bit more available to us. We can train in Vespa, we can have random encounters in Vespa, and more importantly, it's time to move on to Formido. However, for now, this is Draco Breach reporting out. God bless and safe travels. Me? Just an ordinary witch? I have a better idea. Why don't I surprise you? Deneb is better than any other witch in the game. In fact, I will say this. Witches are useless. Deneb is not. And this is preparation for Formida Hill. We are very lucky to have this at level 6. Trust me, it is a nice thing to have.